everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica, and today I have my Pan Those Palettes update, I should say. I almost said Pan That Palette, but I'm doing two. And I am doing the PANtastic Ladies theme, which is Old Faithful, and that was created by Lee Golder. And then, of course, Better Together. This is the second year. That was created by Paula, or a beauty guru made me do it. They are both technically two different projects, and I'm kind of rolling them into one because I'm going to be doing the Pan That palette. I'm almost always going to be doing the Pan That palette with the group. Not always, but most of the time. And Better Together is picking a palette that goes better together with another palette. So, you know, I combine them just because it makes sense to me, and apparently a bunch of other people are doing it too. So I'm not the only one that is thinking along those lines. So basically, I am working on the Mange palette as my Old Faithful palette, and I am working on the ColourPop Blush Crush as my Better Together palette. So I'm going to first show you a picture of where the Mange palette was last month. And this is what it is looking like today. So there are some changes, nothing super drastic. Well, one is drastic, and the rest are just, you know, marginal here or there. So I will have a picture up on the screen of what the progress was like last month so that you can compare. And we'll start with Creamy. That one had a Franken that really had nothing to do with this palette, but I was able to finish that anyway. So that is done, and I probably will Franken something in its place in a very soon to be filmed Franken Friday, though I have the one that is coming up for this Friday, which would be tomorrow when you're seeing this. I've already filmed that one, so, you know, I'm going to attempt to film a couple of them when I have all of my stuff out so that, you know, I don't get into the situation where I was last night where I was sick and I wasn't able to actually film. So, yeah, I'm trying to prep ahead a little bit. All right, so moving on to Dust. I've used it, but not a ton. I have ever so slightly expanded that pan. Onto Peachy. It probably is not going to look any different to you guys as far as the pan, but if I bring it in close, you will see that I have scraped some out along the edges. I use that as frankening for, I think, for my bronzer that is almost done. So, yeah, not 100% what is missing is done, but probably by this time tomorrow it will be. And then Pumpkin. Yes, Pumpkin, that was already done before we started. Mermaid, which is a dumb name for this, but I digress. I have ever so slightly expanded the pan on that one as well. However, Sunset right here, I definitely have expanded that pan. I've used this a lot. I am not actually wearing this one today, though it probably would have worked very well with this look, but yeah, I have definitely used that quite a bit, so I have expanded the pan on that one. Let's go on to row number 2. I have Bling. I've used it a few times, but I have not actually concentrated in the pan area, so you might not see any pan expansion there. Now this is the big elephant in the room. This is Gold Sand. I've used the heck out of this one. It is almost gone, and I think if I had not been sick yesterday, I probably would have used it yesterday and made even more progress on it. So I do think that one is going to have to be repressed. It's getting really hard to get anything on my brush. So yeah, that needs to be repressed. I do think this is going to be done by next month. Moving on to Volcano. I have used it. Is it amazing? No. I have ever so slightly expanded the pan. Nothing really to write home about. All three of these were done as of the last update. So let's go on to the bottom row. This is the shade Cashmere. I honestly cannot remember using this one. I may not have used it in the last month. Copper. Yeah, I've used it, but not much. It's not expanded significantly, but you know, I'll get there. It's a pretty neutral palette. I am so not worried about this being done by the end of this year. All right. Vampire, which is the next one. I've used it once or twice, but nothing major. Rose Veil, I have used, and I have expanded the pan on that one. I wouldn't say it is like massive expansion, but it is, you know, visual expansion, which, you know, sometimes that's important too. And then next we have Burgundy, and I don't know that I've used this since the last update. And then Goldstone, I've only used this a few times since the last update, which the month before I had used it a lot and really expanded the pan, and then just for the past month, I wasn't feeling it as much. So I am making progress, which I feel like as long as I continue to make pretty steady progress on this, it's easily going to be done by the end of the year. I'm just going to slowly be chipping away at the shades here and there, and I may just pick a shade each month that I really want to tackle. And apparently Gold Sand was the one that I really wanted to play with last month, and I do think that if I repress it and put it into, oh, actually I would not have used this yesterday because it's not in my current makeup basket, so I would not have made any bigger progress on that. But I do think if I can get this into my makeup basket next week, I can probably get Gold Sand done, and then who knows what I'm going to feel like working on after that. All right, now let's get on to my Better Together, which is ColourPop Blush Crush. I'm going to put a picture up of where that was last month. And this is what it looks like today. No massive changes. I'm okay with that. This is primarily what I have on my eyes today. I do have a couple other things on my eyes today, but it is, the majority of it is this palette. So let's start with Lovesick, which is this shade right here. I did have pan in this last update. However, I repressed it because the pan expanded so much that I needed to repress it. So it's very thin around the edges, and I've already hit pan on it again. Pop a Bottle, which is this one in the top center. I do not have this on my eyes today. I did set my brow area with Lovesick. The one, which is this right here, I'm not touching it until Lovesick is done. I'm not worried about that one. Let's see, what is this? Enamored, I do have on my lids, and I have, hopefully you can see a little bit of a dip going there. Hopefully you can see that one. And then Made You Blush. I had to, like, I'm looking at my last month's picture on my screen. I do have this as my transition shade today. I do have like a baby dip, though I don't know if you're going to be able to see, kind of right in that area. A little baby dip going there. And then, what is the next one? Blossom Up. I have this just lightly tapped in the transition from my lid to my outer V area. Not a ton of like progress or anything there. I mean, you might be able to see the babiest of dips, but I don't know. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. All right, Hal Rouge, I really have not used much. I need to spend some time with. Same with Cheek to Cheek. Haven't really used it a whole lot. However, Blush Wine, I feel like I wear this all the time. It is what I have on my outer V, and then I set my liner with black, so that's why it's even deeper. But would you look at the crater in this? I don't know if it's going to even show how deep that dip is. Like, it literally is a crater. I could have sworn I was going to hit pan on this before this update. It just hasn't happened. I feel like it's lurking just beneath what we're seeing here. I feel like if I use this one or two times, I'm probably going to hit pan. But I would have thought I would have hit it already, and I didn't. It is probably one of my favorite shades in here, and I'm definitely going to hit pan on this. I'm going to hit pan before the next update. I need to hit pan before the next update. That being said, these pans are insanely deep. And we are in May now. I'm filming this like literally right before it's going to be going up. with as deep as these pans are, there's no way I'm going to be able to finish this palette this year. So I think I'm going to take that off the table as my focus. I think I'm just shifting my focus to hitting pan on everything. I will probably use this the whole year, but I really don't think that I can finish most of it. These two shades are going to be gone because they're basic matte creams. One's a little bit darker than the other. They're going to be done. I might be able to finish like these two shimmers, but some of these shades, these are similar enough, and I would definitely gravitate towards the darker one every single time. I'm not going to finish both of them. It's not going to happen, and I honestly don't even think that I can finish the darker one. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift my focus to hitting pan on everything first and foremost. And then once we get further into the year, as I'm hitting pans and seeing how quickly or how not quickly I'm hitting the pans, I will then decide if there's anything that I feel that I can finish other than these two matte creams up here, and then go for that. I don't want to stress myself out attempting to finish something when realistically I can't finish it. I guess I just didn't understand how deep and how pigmented some of these shades are. And now that I've delved into it, we're 4 months into this palette, it's just not going to happen. And it's not for a lack of using the palette. Yeah, there's some shades I haven't used a ton, and other shades I have used a ton and still haven't hit pan on, which is kind of crazy pants to me, but there is some sorcery going on here. But hope y'all understand why I have kind of changed my focus on this. But I think for my sanity and for update purposes and not feeling beat up from not having better progress each month, I hope you understand why I've kind of, switched it up a little bit. That being said, the Mange palette, I do fully intend to finish it this year. I think I said early on, this is going to be my primary focus to get this done and out. It is older than Blush Crush, so, I think this is the smarter one to get used up. Neither one has super high value. If I look on here, I didn't even put the value of the Mange palette or Blush Crush. Nope. It's $14, I think, is what the Blush Crush was. I'd have to look in my inventory to see what Mange is, but I don't remember it being super expensive. Let me put it in here and see what it says. It's $10. So yeah, marginal difference between them. And yeah, Blush Crush is ever so slightly more expensive, but it had less use to start with, and I feel like there's probably just more product in it to start with. If I could see what this little itty bitty tiny writing said down here, I would be able to compare the two. So I've got my little magnifying glass, and we are going to see what the total is, if it even says what the total is. It doesn't have it added up, so I would have to math, and well, okay, I mathed. I looked it up, and it shows that this is 9.45 grams, where this one was 18 grams, but I don't know. I had 1, 2, 3, 4 shades already done, and everything already had pan on it. These are really easy shades to use, so I don't know. Maybe it doesn't necessarily always come down to the numbers, but the formula, and I just feel like there's more product here than what it is saying. Maybe I'm wrong on that, I don't know, but yeah, they're saying that these are 1 gram each, and then there is one shade that is a Super Shock, which I don't even remember which one is the Super Shock. Either way, Mange is my focus, and I do think I'm going to get it done this year. Blush Crush, I'm just going to, for right now, I'm just going to worry about hitting pan on everything, and then we're just going to go from there. Depending on when I hit pans on everything, and then and we'll figure it out. Definitely go check out Lee Golder and Paula. Their information is going to be listed down below, though I don't know if Lee actually has social media or not, if she just posts in the Facebook group. I cannot remember, but there's going to be spreadsheets for each one of these projects, and if you want to join in, by all means, we'd love to have you on this crazy pinning journey, and you don't even have to be a part of the Facebook group. All right, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and until I see you on my next video, have a beautiful day.